Hey everybody, I need your help. I need some information about blower setups, and really, I just opinions are used, thought about, and I use that information. But facts would be better. I like facts, but let me show you what's going on. So yesterday, I take the car out, and for some reason, it's slower. It was spinning. Okay, so we'll say that my 60 foots were really bad. Can't get this thing off the line yesterday. The track wasn't prepped. It was a no prep deal. Well, there's a no prep race coming up next Friday night. So I was trying to get some testing in and get the car dialed in. But besides for spinning, I also noticed a lack of power. Now, I don't have any data from the last time I was at the track where I actually ran some decent passes. And by decent, I mean decent for this car, which was a 712. I was trying to slow it down to a 730. So now I'm trying to speed this thing up to a 650 for this deal, because there's not like an index. So I know the diesel trucks, four-wheel drive diesel trucks, they're going to be, I know of one that's going to be running a mid-6. And I need to get this figured out. So let me show you what's going on. This is my data log from my, I think, fastest pass, which really wasn't fast. It was 93 mile an hour. Let's see, 93 mile an hour. I think it was a 7. I'm sitting right next to the highway, so there's gonna be about 300 bikes riding around. Are they done? Okay. There's a lot of sports cars drive up and down this highway, so that's why I like having the doors open, so I can basically be jealous of everyone else. Okay, so, alright. So this is my last pass, and this was the actual, if it'll let me do a thing here. Here we go. Okay. I don't know if you can see that or not, but the important stuff I'll draw out on the table. All right, fuel pressure off, oil pressure off. Nobody cares about oil pressure. I mean, I don't even put a gauge in the car because I don't want to know. Let's see, this is where I was spinning. I know it's hard to tell. Okay, you see this? This is where I'd left and launched it. This is a 2-step. I think I had it set at 3200. So I launched the car, and I'm trying to pedal the thing to get it to take off. So it takes off. All right. Shut off air fuel ratio. And now we just have boost and RPM here. Boost is really hard to see because it's a dark red line. But I'll draw, so I can zoom in here a little bit, maybe. See that jazz a little better? Okay. So this is RPM. And this is like 7,000. This is bouncing off the limiter because was basically coming out of trying to spin. I shift it. Here we go again. Second gear, shift it, third gear, right all the way out to the end. My boost is, unfortunately, the most amount of boost I made right before it starts pulling is 8.9. I've seen this thing make 12 before, 12 and a half, so I don't understand what's going on. Starts getting to a hard pull, RPM, we're dropping down to 4.5. Shift gears, back up to we'll say 697. There's 4.8 psi. Shift gears again. There's 7.5, and then ride it out to at the end, as I'm crossing the stripe, we are at 5.4 pounds of boost out of this blower setup. So the very first thing everybody's going to say is, well, it's belt slip. But you might be right. And 100 people have said it, and I agree. For the most part, I'd say a lot of people are correct. But there's a couple other things I'm worried about. The crank slipping on the pulley slipping on the end of the crank is one thing I'm concerned with. At what point are people pinning the cranks on the 5.3 liters, any of the LS engines? I'm using a factory damper, or factory crank pulley, factory damper, and the just factory crank bolt. That's probably been reused 18 times. There's nothing fancy going on there. Using a 6-rib belt on the blower. The blower has a factory Ford pulley on it, so we're not stepping it down. We're not trying to speed the thing up. I'm just trying to get it to maintain pressure all the way down the track. So what's going on here? Is the pulley slipping? If it is, how can I tell? Can I take the crank bolt out and we'll be able to tell then? I'm going to do that just as soon as we're done filming here. But another issue is the throttle body. So this is a factory, or not a factory. It's a 58 millimeter, twin 58 millimeter throttle body. It's an Excel piece that they used on LT1s and the 2-port injection deal. Been around a long time. So I switched to this because the factory Ford throttle body was a drive-by-wire, and I didn't have a way to run it. So I hooked up a cable system, which, not real great, but it's working. And so this is actually still smaller than the factory Ford pulley, or Ford throttle body, I'm sorry. So is my throttle body too small? Is it cutting it off on air? Am I limiting the air coming into the blower because it can't get air? See, another thing I'll get to in a few minutes is the nitrous setup. But I can't figure out why all of a sudden I'm noticing these problems, but I don't have good data from the last time I was at the track. Because, I don't know, I just didn't record it, I guess. But, yeah. And also, when I made a fast pass, it was like 90 degrees out. Yesterday it was, I don't know, mid-70s. So, while we're on that subject, let's take a gander at my intake temps. You're all gonna laugh at this. I'll show you here. It's the green line. Okay. This is my manifold air temp, and this is below the blower. The highest point in the run is at, well, probably midway through the run. It starts to taper off a little bit, but we are at 176 degrees. That's pretty decent. Usually I see this thing running over 200. Now, that being said, this is with a 150 shot of nitrous before the blower. And I put the nitrous on in an effort to cool the blower off. It didn't do as good a job as I was hoping. So I just don't have time to do all the plumbing and get everything done to make the air to water intercooler work. It does have a really good, like, rated for 1300 horse, air to water intercooler. As you can see that right there, it's from Tech Performance. One of these days I'll get it plumbed up, but right now it's just sitting there riding wake. So, yeah. Anyways, what's your opinions? Or what's your facts? What do I need to know? The belt is as tight as I can get it. The last time I was at the track, I actually shredded 2 belts. I think I got the belt deal figured out. The belt it's super tight. I don't want to tighten it up anymore. I'm really thinking that it's not a belt issue. I think it's something else. So what do the Ford guys do? That blower is off of a Shelby GT500. I think it's a 2010 or 2011 GT500. It's an Eaton M122. What are they doing? Like, I notice a lot of guys go to a bigger throttle body right away, or a bigger elbow going into the blower. So is that my limiting factor? What's going on there? So, anyways, yeah. Let me know what you think.